Salvete, welcome to this video lesson on Capitulum Sextum, Chapter 6, and we're picking up in Section 2, second half of that at line 72. So Matus is walking from Tusculum to Rome. Cornelius is riding a horse from Rome to Tusculum, where his villa is. Julius is going from Tusculum with his 4 slaves back towards his house. He's being carried by 2 of them, and the 2 other slaves are carrying bags. Alright, so at line 72, we see Julius prope villam suam est. Julius is near his villa. Medos autem, qui dominum iratum timet, procul a villa Julii abest. Medos, however, autem is however. It's kind of similar to sed, which means but. Metus, however, who fears Timet, his angry master, dominum iratum, is far away from the villa of Julius. Remember, prope, near, and procul a or procul ab are opposites. Procul ab means far away from. So Metus is, remember, villa of Julius is near Tusculum. Metus is going away from Tusculum towards Rome. Dominus a servo malo timetur. Now the tur ending on timetur is again our passive ending, which is new in this chapter. That indicates it happens to the subject. The master is feared, timetur, by the bad slave. Okay. Now I want to note one thing here I haven't really pointed out yet. I'm translating a, the preposition long a there, as by here. When you have a passive verb, it sounds better to say he is feared by the bad slave rather than from the bad slave. What's going on here is that this is the person by whom the action of the verb is done. The master is feared. Well, who is he feared by? By the bad slave. So in English we do that with the preposition by. In Latin they use a or ob. And again, those words mean the same thing. Usually they mean from or away from, but they can also mean by if you have a passive verb like this. Okay. Medus prope Romam est. Medus is near Rome. Iam muri Romani. Now the Roman walls. Ab eo vidintur. Are seen by him. So here we have another passive verb construction. Vidintur has ntur at the end. That's the plural passive ending, because walls are plural here, muri. The walls are seen ab eo, by him. So eo, we've seen that as the ablative case of it and of him, right? So here it's by him. One reminder about a and ob, it's like a and an in English. So you put a in front of a consonant like a servo up above, and you put ob in front of a vowel like ob eo here. Okay, now the walls, the Roman walls are seen by him, and the Porta Capena. Remember, Porta Capena is the Capena gate. That's the gate that was considered the most major primary gate because the Via Appia, Appian Way, goes through that gate into Rome. Via Appia was sort of the queen of roads, as they called it, Regina Viarum. It was the first road that the Romans really built, and it was a long road going from Rome all the way down south to Brundisium. Isqui via Latina venet per portam Capenam Romam intrat. He who, okay, is again means he who comes, venet, on the Latin way or by the Latin way. Via Latina, notice, have the long A's at the end, so those are ablative. And as a reminder, that means we want to choose by, with, from, in, on, at, one of those kind of prepositions to translate it. Here I would say on the Latin way or by the Latin way work best. He who comes on the Latin way or by the Latin way through the Porta Capena. Okay, per is a preposition that means through or during. So through the Capena gate, intrat Romam, enters Rome. Cur Romam it medus. Why is Medus going to Rome? Now notice here Romam is accusative. Remember there are two main things that's for. One, accusative is for object, specifically direct object. We're also kind of object of a preposition like we saw up above, per portam, through the gate. And then the other main use besides object is that accusative will show direction towards. So why is Medus going to Rome? Romam here means that we're asking about going to Rome, direction towards. Romam it, he is going to Rome. Quia Lydia Romae habitat, because Lydia lives at Rome or in Rome. Romae is again this new locative case, new in this chapter. It looks like it's genitive, so it looks like it ought to mean of Rome, but it wouldn't really make sense that here in this sentence to do it that way. So if you're talking about placement verbs like lives or is, a lot of times you'll have this locative case to show where a thing is. Essentially, Romae is another way of saying in Roma, right? In Rome, at Rome. Okay, so because Lydia lives at Rome, nam Lydia amica eius est. For Lydia is his girlfriend or female friend. Amica is the feminine version of amicus, which is friend, right? You see the us changes to a to make the gender different. We get amiga and amigo, the Spanish words from this root. Amicable is an English adjective meaning friendly. Now, I will point out about amica, it can mean girlfriend or just simply a friend who is a woman, right? So here, Lydia does happen to be his girlfriend, we'll see later. So the reason that Medus is going specifically to Rome after he runs away is he wants to meet up with his girlfriend. Medus Lydiam amat, Medus loves Lydia, et ab ea amatur, and is loved by her. Notice amatur again has the tur passive ending, happens to the subject, he is loved, and then ab ea, by her. Again, as a reminder, ab here means by, elsewhere it might mean from. Medus Roma mucatur ab amica sua. Medus is called to Rome by his girlfriend. I don't know if that's sort of metaphorically called, right, or if she specifically maybe sent him a letter, but either way, he's called to Rome by his girlfriend. Quae femina est, pulchra et proba, who is a woman, beautiful and good, or as we would say in more normal English word order, who is a beautiful and good, upstanding woman. Okay. Itaque is fessus non est, and so he is not tired. So remember, fessus is a new word for tired. Fatagatus, de fessus, de fatagatus are all other words in Latin that mean tired. Et laetus cantat, and happy he sings. We would probably say, and he sings happily, right? But in Latin, laetus is an adjective here. If it were an adverb, it would have a long E ending. It'd be laete. Okay, and here's his little song. Non via longa est Romam, ubi amica habitat mea pulchra. Not long is the road to Rome, where my beautiful girlfriend lives. Now notice the word order is a little bit funny. If I do it word for word, it's not road long is to Rome, where girlfriend lives my beautiful. Latin is able to do that kind of different word order because the endings on the words tell us what they're doing. Romam has an accusative that shows place to which, to Rome. Mea pulchra has the same ending as amica, so that tells me that all of those words go together, my beautiful girlfriend. And so those endings allow us to be more flexible with word order in Latin. And that way you can move words around in poetry and songs. Sed id quod medus cantat, a Lydia non auditur. But that which Medus is singing, so the id means that or it, right? We have seen id meaning it before. It can also mean that in the sense of that thing. Here we're talking about the song, right? But that which Medus is singing, non auditur, another passive verb, is not heard, a Lydia, by Lydia. One quick thing, quod can be a synonym for quia, the word that means because, But if you have a neuter word right in front of it, like here, id quod, then you want to almost always translate the quote as which or that. So that which, that made us a singing. In other words, the thing that made us a singing, the song that made us a singing, isn't heard by Lydia. Now the reason why is he's not to her house yet, right? I think we're going to see in a little while she lives in an apartment building, an insula. Most Romans did live in an apartment building. Those tended to be 4 to 6 stories, usually for the bigger ones. There was one that I think was 9 stories, but there's kind of a limit around 5 or so for most of these kind of brick-built buildings, because they didn't have steel skeletons like modern skyscrapers. So you build them too high, unless you make the walls crazy thick, as they did in the 9-story one, they're going to fall apart. Iam Julius in villa est, et ab Aemilia liberisque laetis salutator. Now Julius is in the villa, or his villa, and he is greeted. Salutator is a passive verb again, by Aemilia and his happy children, liberis laetis. Cornelius Tusculius, Cornelius is at Tusculum. Remember, that's where his villa is. Julius's villa is near Tusculum. Cornelius's villa is in Tusculum. Medus autem, Medus, however, Romae est, is at Rome, ante ostium Lydiae, in front of the door of Lydia, or in front of Lydia's door. So Lydiae there, our genitive case from chapter 2. Medus ostium pulsat. Medus knocks on the door. Okay, knocks on the door. Lydia imperat intra. Lydia orders, enter. Now, maybe she's expecting Medus or whatever. Maybe she recognizes his knock. They've got a secret knock or something. But she says enter. Medus per ostium intrat. Medus enters in through the door. Et amicam suam salutat. And greets his girlfriend. Salve mea Lydia, ecce amicus tuus, qui solos Roma mate venet. He says, hello, my Lydia. Look, your boyfriend, who alone, in other words, by himself, is coming to Rome to you. All right. And then, Lydia, verbis medi delectatur. Lydia is delighted, passive verb, by the words of Medus, verbis medi. Notice I say by the words because verbis is ablative. Again, the typical ways to translate an ablative are by, with, from, in, on, at. You sort of look at the context and think to yourself how it best fits. Lydia is delighted by Medus's words, eiumque salutat, and she greets him. O amice salve, oh, hello, friend. Ubi est dominus tuus? Where is your master? And Medus says, Julius in villa est, apud servos suos. Julius is in his villa, or the villa, with his slaves. Neque is iam meus dominus est. Nor is he now my master. Okay? Now, he doesn't explain that this is because he's run away and stolen the master's money. He just says he isn't his master anymore. He doesn't consider him his master, but legally speaking, of course, he still is. Verba medi a Lydia laeta audiuntur. The words of Medus are heard by happy Lydia, or by Lydia, or we would probably say are happily heard by Lydia. But again, laeta is literally an adjective. It's literally agreeing with Lydia. Notice the long A endings for both. So, by happy Lydia, the words of Medus are heard. Okay, well, that concludes chapter 6, capitulum sextum. I hope you learned a few things here. Again, new things in this chapter, the passive verbs, singular tur ending, plural intur, that is N-T-U-R. With those kind of passive verbs, the a or the ob will mean by instead of the normal meaning of from. Let's see. We've also had a good bit of prepositions in this chapter, so pay attention to those. We see a list of them. Odd, to or towards, ante, in front of or before, post is after or behind, inter, between, prope near. Kirkum is